Zeldin, former New York Republican congressman and candidate for governor. Good to have you with us, Lee Zeldin. Thank you for joining us. You know, it's so shocking to hear the change of tune from the mayor of New York City and honestly, mayors across the country who, now that they're actually dealing with the kind of situations that people at the border have been dealing with, suddenly they're all in favor of bringing back ICE and deporting. But I want to remind people, here is what Mayor Adams said back in 2021. He said, we should protect our immigrants, period. Yes, New York City will remain a sanctuary city under an Adams administration. Your thoughts as we wait for this news conference, Lee?
Yeah, now his messaging is about how this is going to destroy the city. And he's right that this is destroying the city. The Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, didn't even ask for a bail. These individuals who attacked the NYPD officers, they're already criminal aliens. They've already violated other laws on the books. For the mayor of New York City to have any chance of being able to secure New York City, you have to have prosecutors who actually want to prosecute. So that's one issue. You also have judges inside of the New York City jurisdiction who, in certain cases, won't even set bail on someone when the prosecutors do ask for bail. Albany has passed a number of bills over the course of the last few years, from cashless bail. New York is the only state in the entire country that doesn't give judges discretion to weigh dangerousness. The HALT Act to get rid of the tool of solitary confinement for correctional officers. Other bills called Raise the Age, Less is More. Last year it was called the Clean Slate Act to essentially wipe out criminal convictions, not just of minor offenses, including homicides as well. So in order for the Democratic mayor of New York City to actually bring law and order restored to New York City, you're going to have to be willing to take on his own party, because the same time that he said that this is destroying the city, he also said that this was the fault of the MAGA Republicans. We have to be honest as far as who has the power here in this moment. And right now, Joe Biden and the Biden administration, they have to get tough on our southern border. The sanctuary city policies that he was bragging about in that clip, the sanctuary state policies of the state, is all leading to this moment for New York City. So part of this is maybe an evolution a bit of rhetoric, but we're going to have to go a lot further than that, because we actually need to see courage, conviction as it relates to policies.
Well, this was since deleted, but not before. It was pretty easy to get a look at this Instagram post by 50 Cent, who said this: WTF, Mayor Adams, call my phone. I don't understand how this works. Somebody explain this. I'm stuck. Maybe Trump is the answer. So I guess that leads me to my next question, which is, what is the electoral politics of all of this? You also hear Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, on the subway the other day saying, you know, round him up and get him out of here. Where is this headed politically?
For many New York voters, for many Americans across the whole country, this has become their number one issue. For many American voters who didn't even have this as their top 10 issues, as recently as, say, the 2022 midterm election, whether it's presidential races, it is House, Senate races, it's local races, a lot of people are saying that this is the number one issue that they want to see addressed. The impacts of what's going on our border, it's not just about people coming across, it's also things. The whole conversation about fentanyl, the impact on budgets from housing to health care and more, has resulted in these longtime Democratic voters disenfranchised by Democratic policies now looking for conservative solutions on topics like this. There was a poll that came out yesterday that showed President Trump beating President Biden amongst Hispanic voters. When we ran for governor in 2022, we won the Asian American vote. Their top concerns was spanning from crime, combating anti-Asian hate, which was resulting in deaths of Asians, to caring about their kids' education. They don't want to see advanced academics eliminated in the name of equity. They want merit-based entry into specialty school. They want to get rid of critical race theory. And now you're seeing people speak up from within the black community, where Joe Biden and Democrats have long enjoyed a massive gap of support. But from, you played one statement right now from 50 Cent. We heard it from Charlemagne the God, who is a very popular host on The Breakfast Club. That's where Hillary Clinton showed up in 2016 and pulled out the hot sauce. Joe Biden says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And this all is adding up at this moment where people feel like they're being left behind by Democratic politicians.
So this was interesting as well over the weekend. 60 Minutes, but it's interesting to see how many places are now covering this story in a way that they wouldn't prior to what has happened in the America's cities. But Sharon Alfonsi did a report for 60 Minutes, and she was talking about about the people who are crossing the border and where they're actually coming from and what their economic situation roughly appears to be. And it's not always what people might think. So watch this.
We noticed middle-class migrants from China arriving with rolling bags. They told us they took flights all the way to Mexico. We wondered how all of these migrants knew about this particular entryway into California. The answer was in their hands.
How do you know about that? Oh, Douyin, okay, TikTok.
Oh, you learned on TikTok.
Learned on TikTok. Just take a flight to Mexico, and if you are good at walking, you can get into the United States. So you don't have to worry about coming through the regular ports of entry at an airport when you don't have the ability to enter the country, and you're middle class from China.
Yeah, it's working. There are people who are getting the message in places far away from the United States that by design, we now have this open border where catch and release has been implemented, where on day one, President Biden stopped construction of the border wall. Title 42 was eliminated. Remain in Mexico was eliminated. We saw rhetoric from the President of the United States you played a clip from Eric Adams. We saw it with governors like Kathy Hochul, essentially encouraging people to come to New York, let's say. That was December of 2021 with Kathy Hochul. And now they're all changing their tunes, but the message has gone out that we have this open border and they're being encouraged to come, and they're leaving places across the entire world to come here, and they're getting through and reporting back.
Yeah, well, President Biden, when he was running, said you should surge to the border. You should come. And so obviously they listened. Okay. Lee Zeldin, thank you very much. Good to have you with us today.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.